This screencast will show you how to produce bar charts, histograms, and line charts. It will also show you how to produce simple tables and demonstrate how multiple response sets can be created. First, we will go over what type of graph or chart is appropriate for different types of data. A bar chart is used when you have nominal or ordinal scores. A histogram is used when you have a small range of interval or ratio scores, and a line graph is used when you have a large range of interval or ratio scores. The data we will be using was taken from a PE class. The data in the first column, activity, is categorical data. Participants were asked their favorite sport activity in PE class. As you can see in the highlighted box, activities were given a number to enter into SPSS. Because the data is nominal or ordinal, we will use a bar chart to graph the data. We will now create a bar chart graphing the number of students who enjoy each of the activities best in their PE class. Click Graphs. Click Chart Builder. This will open a new window called Chart Builder. Click OK. This will open up another window labeled Chart Builder. In this window, your variables are located in the top left corner, and your different options for charts and graphs are located at the bottom. We are creating a simple bar chart. To do this, we need to click on Bar in the Choose From column, and then click on the simple bar chart picture and drag it into the middle white area below where it says Chart Preview uses example data. Then take the variable you are using, in this case activity, and drag it to the box that says X-axis. Click OK. SPSS has opened a new window, the Output window. As you can see here, your bar chart is now displayed. The activities that students rated their favorite is located on the X-axis, and the number of students who rated those activities as their favorite is located on the Y-axis. As you can see from looking at the chart, athletics was the most popular amongst the students. To exit the output window, click the X located in the top right-hand corner. If you want to save the contents of your output, click Yes. If you do not, click No. The current column highlighted in yellow, enjoyment, refers to the levels of enjoyment of PE as rated by the pupils. This is measured on a scale ranging from 1, very low enjoyment, to 4, very high enjoyment. Enjoyment falls under the category of an interval or ratio score. The scores range between 1 and 4, so the range is rather small. Therefore, it is appropriate to design a histogram to display this data. We will now go through the steps on how to design a histogram in SPSS. Click Graphs. Click Chart Builder. This will open up a window entitled Chart Builder. Click OK. This will open up another window labeled Chart Builder. You should be familiar with this window from the bar chart that you just made. As you can see in the box under Chart Preview uses example data, your bar chart is currently there. In order to create the histogram, you simply need to move the objects over where your bar chart is. You will learn how to do this in the following steps. Click Histogram. Click the simple histogram picture and drag it into the middle of the box underneath Chart Preview uses example data. Click Enjoyment. Drag enjoyment to the X-axis. Click OK. This has opened up a new output window. In this window, your histogram is displayed. As you can see here, your variable enjoyment is located on the X-axis. The scale ranges between 0 and 5. Frequency is located on the Y-axis. Frequency refers to the number of participants who rated each level of enjoyment. For example, 0 participants rated 0 as a level of enjoyment. This is because 0 was not an option. We know that the scale ranged between 1, very low enjoyment levels, to 4, very high enjoyment levels. By looking at this histogram, we know that over 50 students in the class rated their PE enjoyment at a level 4, very high. We can also see the mean, standard deviation, and number of participants who filled out this portion of the questionnaire on the top right-hand corner. To exit the graph, click the X at the top right-hand corner of the window. If you want to save the contents of the output, click Yes. If you do not want to, click No. The current highlighted column refers to the levels of effort of these pupils as rated by their PE teachers. This uses a scale ranging from 1, extremely low, to 10, extremely high. This scale is an interval or ratio score, and the range is rather large, between 1 and 10, so it is most appropriate to graph this data using a line graph. We will now go through the steps on how to create a line graph using SPSS Chart Builder. Click Graphs. Click Chart Builder. This now opens up a window labeled Chart Builder. Click OK. This will now open up the familiar Chart Builder window that you have used in the previous two graphs. As you can see here, your histogram is displayed because that is the last chart or graph that you have made. We must now tell it to make a line graph. Click Line. Since you only have one group, click the line graph with only one line. Drag the graph to the middle underneath Chart Preview uses example data. This has opened up a new window, another output window. In this window you can see your line graph. Effort is located on the x-axis, and frequency, the number of people who rated each level of effort, is located on the y-axis. As you can see, the majority of participants rated an effort level of about 7. Again, the mean, standard deviation, and number of participants who filled out this portion of the questionnaire are located in the top right of the screen. To exit the output window, click the X at the far top right. If you want to save the contents of your output, click Yes. If you do not wish to save the contents of your output, click No. Now we are going to create a simple table in SPSS. A table is another way to display your data. Click Analyze. Click Tables. Click Custom Tables. This has now opened up a window labeled Custom Tables. Click OK. This has now opened up a larger window labeled Custom Tables. As you can see here, your variables are listed on the left. To create the table, you need to pick the variables you are going to display in your table and drag them to either the rows or columns part of the box, depending on where you want them to be displayed. For this example, we will move activity to the rows section of the box. Click activity and drag it to where it says rows. We will move effort to the column section of the table. So click effort and drag it to the column. This will tell us participants' favorite activity and the amount of effort that they put into PE class according to their teacher. Click OK. This has now opened up an output window which displays your table. We can see the activities that the students rated as their favorite and the amount of effort the PE teacher thinks that each group puts into PE class. Students who enjoy cricket the most put in the most effort according to their PE teachers. You can create a clustered bar chart using the crosstabs option or through Chart Builder. We will now go through the steps on how to create a clustered bar chart using the crosstabs option. The fourth and fifth column in the data file represents the year group of the pupils, ranging from year 8 to year 11, and the fifth column indicates the highest competitive sport level that each pupil has achieved, ranging from a school team to a regional team. We will now create a clustered bar chart to show the distribution of year groups across competitive levels. Click Analyze. Click Descriptive Statistics. Click Crosstabs. This has now opened up a window labeled Crosstabs. Click Competitive Level and move it to the Rows box. Click Year of Study and move it to the Columns box. Because we want a clustered bar chart, click the box on the bottom left that says Display Clustered Bar Charts. Click OK. This has now opened up a new output window. As you can see here, the output window displays some additional data in addition to the clustered bar chart. The Case Processing Summary shows you how many cases were valid, that is, how many cases or participants had both a score for competitive level and year of study. As we can see here, 100% of participants had a score from both. The competitive level year of study cross-tabulation area shows a table for the year of study and the number of people with each competitive level, as well as totals for the whole study. If you scroll down in your output window, you can see the clustered bar chart. The information in the clustered bar chart is the same information provided in the table above, except it's visual. As we can see here, at the district level, there are more students in Year 10 participating than any other year group. The same thing occurs at the regional level, but if we look at the club level, there are more students in Year 9 competing at the club level. We are now going to go through how to create a multiple response set. In a survey of barriers to regular physical activity, a student asked the following question: if you have stopped exercising for 3 or more months, please explain why you have done so. Participants were asked to tick all that were applicable. Options included injury or illness, lack of motivation, lack of transportation, family demands, lack of exercise partner, lack of time, work demands, and lack of enjoyment. The student then entered the data into SPSS, creating a separate column for each barrier. For each column, the barrier was assigned the code 1 if it was ticked by the participant, i.e., the barrier was relevant to the participant, and 2 if it was not. The data are presented on the screen. We are now going to create a multiple response set for each participant that will include all the identified barriers. This will help us identify the most commonly reported and the least commonly reported barrier to regular physical activity. Click Multiple Response. Click Define Variable Sets. This will open up a new window labeled Define Multiple Response Sets. All of your responses are located on the left side under Set Definition. Select all of the responses by clicking on them. Click the middle arrow to move them to Variables in Set. Type in the name of this. In this instance, we will name it total_no_barriers. Make sure that dichotomies is checked and that the counted value is 1. Click Add. Click Close. Click Analyze. Click Multiple Response. Click Frequencies. This has now opened up a window labeled Multiple Response Frequencies. Under Multiple Response Sets, you have the set that you have just created, Total No Barriers. Move this set across to underneath Tables 4. Click OK. This has now opened up an output window. There is a table in the output window which shows the number of participants who have checked each of the options and the percent of the total population that is, and then the percent of all the cases that have checked that. As we can see here, the most participants checked injury/illness as a barrier to physical activity, and the least number of participants selected lack of transportation as a barrier to physical activity. This now concludes the video on frequency tables and charts. In this video, we learned how to create a bar chart, histogram, line graph, simple table, clustered bar chart, and how to create multiple response sets.